This video is part 2 of my series Meet the Billionaires, part of the broader course on Project 2025. When you follow the money on Project 2025 and the Trump administration, you get back here. This video is about the Kochs. Fred Koch, born in 1900, was the son of Dutch immigrants in Texas, and he went to MIT and studied chemical engineering. In 1927, he invented a more efficient way to get gasoline from crude oil. In the 1920s, the Soviet Union was industrializing at breakneck speed, and American corporations saw an opportunity. Stalin was willing to pay in gold and raw materials. There was no competition, no regulation. Desperate buyers were offering hard currency for massive contracts. American oil manufacturers weren't interested in Fred's new technology, so instead, he signed a $5 million contract with Stalin. The Soviet trade journal Oil of Russia praised Koch, saying that he pleased his Soviet clients by ensuring top quality and his work helped the cause of socialism. Koch then brought Soviet engineers to Wichita, Kansas to train them on American technology. After the Soviet contracts, Koch went on to work with Nazi Germany, opening a refinery in Hamburg in 1934. This became the third largest oil refinery in Nazi Germany. Koch's American business partner, William Rhodes Davis, was a Nazi sympathizer that the US government later classifies as an enemy agent. These men had personal appointments and approval from Adolf Hitler. When his refinery was bombed into oblivion by the Allies in 1944, he came home to America. He had no issues with communism up until this point, but during the Cold War, being anti-communism was good for business. So he became a founding member of the John Birch Society. The John Birch Society believed that President Eisenhower was a communist agent. They believed that the civil rights, believed is not correct, they pretended, they create the lie that the civil rights movement was a Soviet plot to create, and I quote, a Negro Soviet Republic. They also started rumors such as water fluoridation is communist mind control and the UN is a communist conspiracy. Fred Koch was one of the largest financial backers of this John Birch Society. From that point on, he makes anti-communism his identity. The same guy who built refineries for Stalin, took Soviet gold, and literally trained Bolshevik engineers in Wichita, then funds anti-communism narratives claiming moral horror. Fred Koch would work with whoever paid him. When Stalin is paying, he's working for Stalin. When Hitler is paying, he's working for Hitler. And then suddenly, when anti-communism becomes profitable in America, he's anti-communist. That's not ideological, that's opportunist. Fred Koch died in 1967 and his fortune passed to his 4 sons. This was David Koch, he died in 2019. This is Charles Koch, he's still alive. This was Frederick Koch, he died in 2020. And this is Bill Koch, he's still alive. Charles Koch has a net worth of $71.4 billion. David's wife, Julia Koch, and their 3 children inherited his fortune of $74 billion. Charles remains the active chairman and CEO of Koch Industries. He is 90 years old. He still has complete voting control of the company and he still lives in Wichita. He has a designated heir. This is his son, Chase. He is 43 years old and the president of Koch Disruptive Technologies. That is the venture capital arm of Koch Industries. A quote from Chase, "We don't see this as merely a family business. We see it as a meritocracy. If we start thinking about who in the family should take certain roles, we could find ourselves in trouble." When Charles inherited this company from his father, Fred, the company was already worth $400 million. Today, the company is worth over $100 billion. It's not because these guys are mega smart businessmen. It's because compound interest on dynastic wealth is a thing. They have taken their father's fortune, which was built on Stalin's gold and Hitler's fuel, and they have turned it into a political machine. It is the Koch fortune that created the infrastructure that Project 2025 runs on. I'm going to have to split this video into 2 parts. Charles Koch is quoted as saying, "Traditional politics tends to be a nasty, corrupting business. Direct electoral politics don't work, and we, the businessmen, need a different approach." They were so incredibly hands-on in the development of the think tank model, especially the Cato Institute. So I want to give it the full investigation. Come back later.